Hello and welcome in another house portrait session. Today we're going to paint this beautiful house. I did a little bit of a shortcut with this one because it was time sensitive commission and I have actually used the carbon sheet, so the line work is gently copied. I just put the carbon and then traced slightly. You can do that way, or you can just observe and sketch everything. It just takes so much longer. So I wanted to make sure this house is very accurate. There's everything the same as in a photograph, and it was, like I said, time sensitive. I had to deliver that ASAP. So if you want to follow this one, you can just do the same thing, and you can then use paint on top. The only thing I would suggest is go lightly with your tracing, so do very gentle lines, because later it might be difficult to cover that nicely to get that delicate look. So this is the house we are painting today, and there are a few things to focus on. Oh, the other thing I can tell you, if you want to create your own carbon kind of page to trace, you can just use that water soluble pencil. Just cover the page with it, turn it to the painting, and then trace it over like a carbon copy, so that pencil has a chance to dissolve later if you need to. So this is the liner I'm going to use. It's a Tombow, and I have two different versions. One is harder, one is softer tip. It doesn't make a huge difference, it just makes line a little bit variable. So here I'm just starting to lie down the line work, and this pen is not water soluble, it's waterproof, so it's not going to smudge, because if you have pen that is maybe water soluble, you might need to do that in reverse. So put your painting down first, paint, watercolor, wash, and then you can put your liner down if it's water soluble. So here I'm using my favorite cast art paper, which is watercolor paper, smooth, hot press, without any bumps or roughness. It is very great paper if you're planning to apply some color pencil and get a little bit more definition, a little bit more detail. It's fantastic paper for that. If you're looking for more rough, more loose, I would suggest to get cold press with all the bumps. So you can see here I decided to take some bits and bobs out. I don't include everything, so this is artist's license, as we say, and I took the car out. It wasn't really adding anything, and I added kind of little bushes to the side. So you can make it your own. You can make it very fairy tale-y, you can make it very fantasy. I just wanted to make sure the house looks like a house that those people have. It's just taking off bits that are distracting, or maybe not adding anything to images. And these windows really confused me. Even though I traced that, they were still a little bit, how many of those windows here? Is that right? So you start doubting yourself. So I'm just carrying on here with line art, with inking, making sure the lines are not too regular, not too stiff, so it doesn't look like architect painting. It looks like a human hand's been making this, not machine. I'm back from my lunch break, just like being at work, and I'm going to carry on. I'm not going to redraw that. I think it's going to be okay. It's not ideal with those little bits on the white. Never mind. Okay, life goes on. We're going to move on. Hopefully the watercolor will kind of distract from those imperfections, and you know what, sometimes it is nice to see those imperfections. I'm just trying to choose the right brush now. I think this will be nice. It's not the smallest, not the biggest, and it has a nice long tip. It's from Daily Rowney, round number 6, I think, graduate. So I'm just gonna wet that down, and as always, I'm starting with a sky, and my favorite is this is Mountain Blue, which looks like a cerulean blue. I don't know, heliocerulean. Let's try that. Sometimes I struggle to see which color is which. I have my handy little chart here, so that one and that one, just to mix it up a little bit, give it a variety. Hi Daisy, you come back? Good girl. Come on, sit on your bed. So I'll start here from top. I'm deliberately leaving a little space between the house and the sky, like a little white area. Quite like that effect. Ooh, hope it's going to be enough paint. I often don't mix enough. That's my fault. Oh, she went away. I think she's not very happy here. Not comfortable enough on this cushion, maybe. She might be coming back. I think she's a little bit salty because I didn't give her much of my lunch, just a little bit. Seriously, she had something in the morning already. It's not like I'm starving her. So now I'm using the towel, kitchen towel, paper towel, and just dabbing, trying to change directions of it. Oh, be careful, because any residue will stay on there as well. And just creating those little clouds effect. I might try to lift that up. The clean bits. Let's see, a lesson. Every time there's something to learn. And let's just put another layer here. It's like a little shavings of make sure you get rid of all those little bits from rubber rubbing off. Okay, I'm happy with the sky. The sky looks lovely and kind of happy. Let's create the color for that rendering of the what is it called? Wall, because it's quite a lot of it. And I'm going for a mixture of yellow ochre, and it has to be quite a lot of it, and I want to dull it a little bit. So I'm looking at my color circle, what's on the opposite of that sort of color, like a blue one. Okay, I have already that blue. I'm going to use it up. Very watery. Add a little bit more. A little bit more of that blue. If I put too much blue, it will become green. So I want to avoid that. And maybe tiny bit of a sepia, because it has a little bit of that in there. And let's start. So starting from the top, because I don't want to smudge things, and I'm trying to avoid any white elements as well. So to be honest, this brush is fantastic for it. It has a very precise tip, but allows the looseness as well. Okay, just checking everything recording fine, because you know what happened before when I discovered, oh, it's not good here. I discovered that it has not been recording. It's a bit of a resistance here, a bit like a wax. Maybe that carbon has something that is like a water resistant, and it creates that. We'll find out in a minute, because we're going to go over some bits, like on the roof, for example. So I think that covers all the rendering areas, and we can make a little bit darker. Burnt umber, let's take that one. Burnt umber is a little darker, and just kind of closer while it's still wet. Just put a little bit of that here. Dropping that will create a nice shadowy effect that we love so much in watercolors. Brilliant. And now next we can maybe move to those doors and garage doors. So this is very light mixture of blue and green, which is teal, mixed with something like white. So let's choose maybe sub green, because it's like a warm green. Maybe this type of blue, more blue. Okay, and now titanium white. Oh, that is gorgeous, like a sage green. It's very pretty. We don't need loads of it, but I always want to mix a little more than I think I need, because that garage door has quite a lot of space. It's so pretty. I love that color. I told my friend, like, this is really nice. I might actually change our door color to something similar. Now let's see, because I'm going over that area that was with a carbon copy page, but that seems to be working fine. Not an issue. Might be a bit dark, but always remember it will dry a little lighter as well. Okay, that already looks more like it. And again, just to create a little bit of shadow area. I think I might use actually color pencil for that rather than this. Let's put Payne's Grey, and white will give you a kind of grey color. Grey blue color, and that's what we're going to use for kind of curtains. There's some curtains here. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's the brick wall. Oh my goodness, I thought we haven't got any more, a bit more rendering. So that should be also a bricks. It's so typical for me to kind of lose a little bit of it and not do the whole thing. Miss something, that's the word I was looking for. And sorry, drawing and thinking, it's so hard. All right. How could I miss that? I don't know. Anyways, where were we? So I'm making that grey to create illusion of like a curtains. There are curtains here. And there's one here just to be applied. Not sure why it's so resistant. That it's like, you know, you got a wax crayons and you put over, and it kind of Gives you that water doesn't want to go over it. That looks nice. I like that. That little plaque, because we don't want to use too many colors. We want this to have those, you know, wall different color and the sky and so on. But if we can minimize, that will be good. It just looks more harmonious. Let's just paint those plant pots with already the paint we did rendering with, and adding a teeny tiny bit of sepia just to make it harmonious. That's all we need. And now we need to create the colourful for all the kind of brickwork and for roof. So let's start with creating nice color. We're going to use what we already have. So a little bit of that ochre. We're going to add that sepia. It's beautiful. But you see, it's not as dark and strong on a picture. It's much lighter. So we're going to neutralize it. Where red orange neutralize with blue green. Is that right? Yeah. So we're going to add a little bit of green to dull it a little bit. And now adding that titanium white to make it a little bit more chalky. Because white, we normally don't use white to paint white bits. It's just to mix color really. And I like that. I might make it too dull. Let's add a bring a little bit more life to it. I hope it's going to be enough. Every time I say that and it's struggle. So let's just start painting all over here. I feel like I got too much. I need to make it a little bit more watery. Right, start again. That should have some brick wall as well, actually. I might actually do it now. Luckily, you can just get rid of that. And here, of course, I'm not going for realism. I'm just roughly applying. Where would that brick go? I think I might have made it a bit too dull. I just add a bit more of that. And this brush might be too big as well. Oh no. I need to be less sloppy now. Less loose. A bit more precise. Lovely, so that's done. It's very light. And the roof, we can add a little bit more redness to it, like a rusty red. So alizarin crimson mixed with what we already have. That one gives a really nice, lively kind of paint. And let's go with that. Deliberately, I am not hitting every single bit because I want to get illusion of light. And the lower one is a little bit more brown, so we're going to add that Indian red, maybe a bit more burnt umber. But I kind of mix what I already have on my palette. It really helps to maintain that what's it called? Harmony. Now, if we can just dig out a little bit of that silver we had, that the thing we were doing the curtains with. If I can wake this up from my child palette, there is like a characteristic kind of little bit of lining of that, I don't even know what it's called, lead here. Is quite characteristic for that. Okay, why haven't I painted that quickly? What have I got left of that paint? Whew, what was I thinking? Oh, it's stressful. Now let's grab a much smaller brush to do some precise things. This could be a good one, or something like that. Not sure. This would be nice. Okay, something like this, because we're going to cut into those little windows with a darker paint. Now I'm looking for the right contender, but this one will be probably best because it's got that end, very pointy end. And what we need is, I'm going to mix it with that brush actually, because otherwise if you take that little brush and you mix it, it will take you forever just to take enough paint. Again, grace paint, pretty much either just that or adding a tiny bit of that white, titanium white, just to soften it up a little bit. Don't want a bit too stark, but it gives you gorgeous grey. Oh my goodness, this brush just sucks up all the paint. And this time we're going to paint within those windows that are already dark here. So that one, is there any reflection? Just like that. And because it's not pure black, it will give a lovely finish. Because if it was just black, it will take all the attention. We want this to look harmonized, not too heavy. It's a cheery picture. Just coming back to our chats. I really enjoyed chatting to you guys, but I've never heard anything from you. Like, where are you from? Where are you watching from? What is your favorite thing about my videos? What do you like doing? The other day I had the comment from somebody saying, I enjoy falling asleep to your videos, which honestly I take it as a big compliment, because that means this relaxes you and you find it useful, and I'm not offended at all. And sometimes I do fall asleep to other creators' videos, especially painting ones or tutorials, and yeah, it's just, I completely understand that. So let me know what you doing. Are you doing painting alongside, or I'd love to know. So that's starting to look all put together a bit more. It's nice to finish it like that. What else do I need to do? Oh, that one here. Sometimes I need to look properly. Yesterday I had a big step. I did a big step, guys. I have started colouring my own hair with a professional product, and it actually worked fine. I was petrified. I was worried it's gonna end up. I had a backup plan with my beautiful, lovely hairdresser. I've been going to hers for 10 years. And she's such a nice lady, and I feel so bad kind of moving on, but it's not her, it's me. Honestly, because basically I need to just color my hair more often now. I love grey hair on other people, but for myself I just don't feel yet that it's me. I know that day will arrive, but I kind of want to do my own hair now, and it was a big step because it was loads of learning. I feel like I gained chemistry degrees from learning about chemicals and how to do it, and goodness, there was so much to learn, but I did it. And I can't take all the credit because my other half has helped me. That first time you have to do the whole head, so he was so lovely and helped me, and then I did the rest, toning and so on. So yeah, I have did that, and next time I'm going to change the just a smidge the proportions and stuff, so it should be fine. Oh, I'm a little bit disappointed how that turned a bit more green than it is. Not sure if there's anything I can do about that. Can I turn it in the more? I think I need to swap my water as well. Hold on. I think sometimes when you mix with titanium white, it can give you a false feeling of that's the colour, and then it actually settles different. So that's interesting. I might try to do it with the colour pencils a little bit on top. That's going to be fun to finish it with a colour pencil. Let's do those plants because they need doing, and I want to use slightly different colour, maybe cobalt green. Nice deep colour. And again on top I'm trying to keep it nice and light so it looks like the light is hitting it. I will work with a few different, oh that's lovely, couple of layers. So yeah, that was exciting, doing my own hair, and it feels nice. It feels so nice that it worked out. It's not exactly how I wanted it, but it's okay. It's within the happy range, so I'm good. So what we have here, we need to do the floor. So we need this kind of colour. I've got it already here mixed up. I'm just going to use that. Very good. Okay, and now what we need to do, basically wait for this to dry a little bit. Oh no, I just dipped the paint in my water, my drinking water. So that's a great opportunity to go and make myself another drink. And I'll leave it like that for a little bit. And then we're going to come back with colour pencils and that will be done. I'm so excited. It looks looking pretty good, I think. Okay, so we have the last chapter left, which is adding colour from the colour pencils, and I am mainly using the Faber Castel Albrecht Durer. And I forgot to mention, I for my watercolour I used Schmincke Horadam Aquarelle. Why is it so difficult for me to speak today? I have no idea. Okay, it's a bit messy here. Just tidy up things we don't need. And the pencils. So let's start from the top. I want to add a little variation to that roof, so something a little bit brown, but on a warm spectrum. So just adding a little bit here and there. And the beauty of these pencils is that you can actually dissolve them with water. So if something is a little bit too much just take a brush with water and work it together. So that's done. I'm just putting it here for now. That's another one, a little bit darker, a bit more cherry colour. Okay, this is driving me nuts. Here on the side, and these are cool little baskets I got. It says Porta here. It's got a little holding bit here, and I found it a little bit more practical than what I had before. And this little big wallet, that was a bit difficult to get things out, so I prefer it that way. Yeah, adding that detail with colour pencils, I enjoy doing that because it just gives a little bit more texture, a bit more character. Maybe something like terracotta kind of red. I have all that job here on the gravel, so I'm going to make a tiny little hint of texture, not too overwhelming. Very gently touching the paper. And I'm going to add another tone to that because we want variation here. We don't want all the same. So give depth to it. And I might actually use the same pen to add a little bit onto this rendering. Just here and there, not everywhere. I really like how those shadows turn down. It always is a positive in the end, how it looks. Positive surprise. Okay, a little bit lighter. Okay, yellow here. I forgot to put the name on that plaque. I'm choosing the teeny tiny, oh no, that is not actually teeny tiny. That's a teeny tiny 04. I need to kind of write here. Oh, don't think you can read it, but it's supposed to say name of the house, roughly. Okay. So I thought maybe if I give a little bit like a light grey to that, it will give a little like a pastel look to the door, but I'm not sure. Tiny bit. Yeah, it worked a little bit. But it's tricky to get that colour absolutely right. Let's just work on that rendering a little bit more. We need something dark, like a brown, but without much redness into it. could add a little bit of a white speckles, but I think it would just be too much. I'm not sure if I use that and put on top of this rendering. Just try a little bit. Maybe if I can get it out. Maybe a few highlighting bits. You know what? It actually was a good decision. It looks quite cool. But it's quite cute, those little dots. I like it. Quite adorable. Even if it's not what it really is. Yokosuma's house, the Japanese author, covered in dots. Imagine if she had a British house. To make sure I covered all the areas, not leaving anything out. Yeah, I really like that. Should we put little highlights on the garage door? Here and there. I really like that. I'm glad I decided to use it. Let's just make those bushes a little bit more luscious. Like they are live plants. Now I'm going to use a little bit of a grey, dark grey. So unfortunately my camera decided to switch off on the last home run, and it basically finished before I could finish the painting. So just a little bit left to complete that. Just trying to get that feeling of that door being a bit more sage than and I desperately need to add a little bit of redness to that brickwork here. So I'm using this kind of like a terracotta Pompeian red. What a name. Sometimes very quirky names. Having them all displayed here in that pot, that really helps. And when I use something, I tend to leave it out so I can easily go back to it if I need to. I found that adding that extra layer of colour with colour pencil just livens the picture a little bit. I really like that. Some people like it very, very subtle and very desaturated. I quite like popping a little bit of colour here and there so your eye can bounce around the page a little bit more. Oh, one of my favourites. This is from different set from Museum Aquarelle from Caran d'Ache, and they have gorgeous colours. Let's just put a little bit on the ground here. So I hope that people who will receive the painting, it will just bring the joy to them, and they will just enjoy having it. Like I'm saying, like I said before, I'm not striving for like an accurate, realistic look. It's more not even children illustration, because we haven't got that whimsical. But yeah, somewhere in that area really. Let's see if there's anywhere I could just put that little kind of shadowing down. And I would like to put a little bit more shadow under that, what's it called? Gate. Unfortunately, I haven't got water on me at the moment. I'm going to use one of those pencils, darker a grey. I could get water and just dissolve that a little bit. That shadows. Okay, I don't want to overdo it, so I think at this point this is finished. I might get actually water and just dissolve that shadow here, because I'm not entirely happy how that looks. It's a little bit too drawn rather than painted, so let me do that. So just final touches to that, and see how lovely that works, the color pencils. If you want to dilute them with water, works pretty well. Daisy's just not happy today, are you, Daisy? Maybe it's the she haven't been for a walk today. Daisy, hey. And let me just blend a little bit of that floor here, because I think it would look better if it hasn't got that tiny texture. I prefer that blended a bit more. That's great, I think it's done. I just need to pop my signature in here. So I'm going to use that and put my name probably in those bushes. So it's not too obvious, it doesn't ruin the picture, and it's very subtle. But I'm waiting for this to dry, because the last thing I would like this to bleed into that. Also, when you have a wet area, you can always add that as well. That already dried a bit, so it's difficult to do that. I'm kind of finding a happy medium, experimenting, probably using a sketchbook, and just trying different ways, different techniques is a good idea, because then you can just play and not worrying about this getting messed up in any way. So yeah, just to leave my signature. I think there's a gap there, so okay, that will do. It always makes me nervous putting a signature, But that's done now. Oh, doorbell. There we go. Little bits. And I think that's done, guys. So all we need to do now is take this out of the tape off. And it doesn't matter if it does a little bit of a tearing, because I measured it a little bit generous. So we'll go over that. And this is always stressful, because if you're drawing for someone, or this to be framed or whatever, it's not like your sketchbook practice. You have to be careful. There's a little spot there, but there's nothing I can do about it now. So one that's dried, I'll give it a few good hours. I think I'll leave it overnight to properly dry, and then I'll pop it in that little frame, and I'll show you the end picture here. I hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know if you have any questions at all or any comments, and please subscribe if you want to see more videos like that. And till next time, thank you so much. Bye bye.